All right, let's get started. So, this is the Legendary Sports Group web series, episode one. Getting right off to it. My name is Max Ford. We have Legendary's own Shabazz Gordon on the call. We have a special guest who's going to be a member of the web series, Brian McDonald. I had to deal with this kid for a while, so he knows a little bit. So we're inviting him onto the series. Welcome, welcome. So, a little bit about LSG. We've been going for about 3 years now, based off Instagram. If you don't follow the page, go follow it. Legendary Sports Group. No underscore, no periods, nothing like that. Just straight across Legendary Sports Group. Um, our motto is we are a sports culture. So what we do is we cover everything sports culture related, whether that's on the court, on the field, or off the court. Um, Basically everything that these athletes have going on and are involved in. So what we want to do is continue to provide fresh and new insight, sports insight, and insight on the culture through our lens, and just provide different perspectives from what we feel like are experienced eyes in this sport industry. And then lastly, going by the motto of the late Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Just be legendary, man. Everything you do, just be legendary. Um, right now, we're based out of Connecticut and also Miami, Florida. So we got a wide range. We do some community work as well, both in youth sports. So we're involved in that aspect of it, coaching, mentoring. I know mentoring definitely is going to be a focus in the future, coaching right now. So that's what we want to get into. So a part of LSG, and a very important piece, what we feel like is the social responsibility for these athletes. Now, um, lately, it's been a focal point. People are beginning to feel more comfortable. Athletes are speaking up. Some athletes have been doing it. We have obviously Kaepernick leading the way. LeBron James, obviously big name. But now we have some of the other athletes getting more comfortable and kind of getting more confident in speaking. So what we wanted to do for our first segment is kind of just highlight some of what we've seen um, throughout the sports landscape. It doesn't have to be only professional athletes. It could be college athletes. We just want to make sure we cover the culture of sports. So, Brian, you want to go ahead and get it started?
Yeah. So So I got two people that came to mind right away before we started this, and I think talking about social justice on my end, being a very white male, um, especially the past couple months has been more of a, I don't know. I talked to Max like a couple months ago. Been more of like a sit back and just like kind of listen and learn mentality. So, I mean, obviously, live, breathe, and eat sports. So, just diving into the sports culture world during this time, the past few months, these two people kind of came to my mind. One of them being Kalen Hill, running back out of Mississippi State, led the SEC in rushing. Um, Arguably, probably one of the best running backs stat-wise the SEC's had, if you take out our Bama guys the past decade or so. So he plays for Mississippi State. In Mississippi, there was an article that I read like 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's the South and then there's Mississippi. So Mississippi has like been one of the worst states to live in, the poorest state to live in. The most injustice has gone on in Mississippi versus any other state in the United States. And Kalen Hill finally said, enough's enough. I want the Confederate markings, the flag, removed from our state flag. So he went on social media. He made a stand for it. He created petitions, got signatures, and went around. And finally, everyone was boo-hooing him. Stephen A. Smith went on when this first happened. Actually, if you guys want to go and check out the clip, Stephen A. Smith boo-hooed him and goes, "You got to do more than just speak out and stand up. This isn't going to happen." 6 days later, the Senate voted and got the Confederate flag removed from the state of Mississippi's flag, which is no one ever thought was possible. So the fact that this young kid in college, who's not even a pro athlete, doesn't even have a dollar to his name, went on and got this huge change made to the state flag, I thought was absolutely remarkable. And, being a college athlete, it's easy for these pro guys, especially, we talk about, I know Jalen Rose is doing a lot now, LeBron James, everyone, all these superstars with $100 million, it's easy for them to, Michael Jordan donated 100 over the next 10 years, 10 mil a year for 10 years. It's easy for these guys to just, throw money and, be a headline in the news when they have all this money. So the fact that Jalen in college, this is kind of like a big thing just because, not being at the pro level yet, who knows what this could have done impacted his future for the NFL. And he got it done. So Kalen Hill's my number one pick. And then the women don't get enough love. Renee Montgomery, former Husky.
UConn.
I believe she won the championship with them in 2009. I believe 2009.
Point guard.
Montgomery, yeah, point guard, shooting guard. She rotated. She was unbelievable. So she was the past X amount of years been playing for the Atlanta Dream, and she actually came on, and this got like 2 minutes of media attention. She came on and said, "Nope, not playing. This is what I'm going to focus on. A, B, C, and D. I'm not playing. Something needs to be done." And this is kind of like what Kobe was fighting for the past couple of years, is not only women's basketball, but just women's sports in general. They get absolutely zero. I mean, compared to everyone else, they get zero recognition. So if this happened to, let's just say, I'm just going to throw out a couple names, like in the football world, if Tom Brady did this, LeBron James did this, and said, "You know what, I'm sitting out this season," we would still be hearing about it 2-3 months later. So
the world would stop.
The world would literally stop. So the fact that she said this, a WNBA star, just goes to show how little respect women still have in the sports world. And she's been doing an absolutely phenomenal job. She is creating, working with lawmakers and government officials in Georgia, because Georgia is actually one of the hardest states to vote in, and working with them to make some new laws and regulations easier for especially the Black community to come out and vote. And then she's working with, I believe it's her mom and then her aunt. Her family's involved in like the HBCUs or HBCUs. And she's creating and organizing a bunch of funding for a bunch of those. So, I think Renee Montgomery and Kylan Hill are my two picks. So
solid.
That's who I got.
Solid. Definitely Renee Montgomery definitely resonates with people in Connecticut. I mean, in the athletic world, like we know who she is. Yeah. Shabazz, what we got?
So one of my first picks that I made, I don't think he gets enough credit, is Adam Silver. I think he's the best sports commissioner. He gives his players the platform, and he's not ever putting the logo above his players. I feel like sometimes in NFL we kind of see, it's about the shield, it's not really about the individuals. Adam Silver has allowed the NBA players to send out messages on the back of their jerseys after games and interviews. Instead of talking basketball, I've seen several stars ask, why hasn't Breonna Taylor's killers been arrested? I think Adam Silver he's a trailblazer as far as American sports. I think the NBA is the most progressive league as far as listening to their athletes and making the game the best for their athletes. He's of course, once the pandemic came, he's been at the more of a forefront, but I think since he's taken over for Stern, he's been doing a outstanding job, and the NBA just continues to grow, and we just keep seeing better basketball and better basketball. And I just think that the NBA is continuing the upward trend, that even when our stars like LeBron and those guys step further away from the game, that we're still in the great hands with the young talent, great commissioner. And another person that is another Husky, Maya Moore. She has also um, sat out seasons for the Minnesota Lynx to promote prison reform. And if I'm correct, the inmate that she sat out for was released shortly after the pandemic started. So she's definitely another Husky who is, this shows that Gino has a great program and that he's not just creating great women basketball players, but he's creating great women leaders just in the world, period. So those are my two picks. I think we're going to continue to see these athletes step forward and make social change a bigger part of the plate than it has been for our past athletes.
Right. Just hearing from both of you guys, biggest thing that comes to my mind, especially with Renee and Maya, is just sacrifice. Like at the end of the day, they're athletes. So I'm sure they would love to hoop and would love to play basketball, but at
And
this
that
point,
would be, I would say that would be kind of like if, like Brian said, with if Tom Brady or LeBron did it, like
Maya
if we
Moore.
had the caliber of stars and that the WNBA has sending out, it would send the bar. Maya Moore would be like I don't know,
Like a Durant almost.
yeah, she got three. Yeah, so like a KD sitting out, and then Renee is, like John Morant or a young star sitting out, like somebody like that. That's big in the game. And I, like Brian said, like the women athletes need to get that much more publicity on their on the court behavior, but also the off the court behavior. Like I've seen several teams stand up to their ownership, and like letting them know like we're gonna stand up for something before we fall for anything.
Right. And I mean, Adam Silver is a great pick, and I love how the NBA it seems to be banding together, um, giving everybody more confidence to stand up and do their thing. And there's different lanes. There's different lanes, and I believe Paul George was saying that. But I wanted to just bring up kind of the Banana Boat crew, CP3, Wade, Melo, and I'm sure LeBron is gonna kind of tail in, but what they're doing, they came together and they started a fund. They're launching a fund with they're putting their money in for social justice. Um, I believe it was 2016 back at the ESPYS when those four got up on that stage and kind of set the tone, or at least basketball players, to kind of speak out against some of the things that they feel aren't going right at that point. So social justice, addressing economic justice issues facing Black communities, and breaking down barriers for success, helping advance racial equality and opportunity. So just hearing that covers a wide range of things, but what I think those four or those three officially will be doing, they'll be kind of landmarks to helping other players and other people, whatever they have going on, they'll kind of provide the assistance. Obviously, like I said, they started the fund. So that's the first group of people that I wanted to shout out. And then Jaylen Brown, perfect example of a young person, a young athlete, using his platform. That's been the biggest thing. I mean, 2020, I would say a high percentage of athletes have social media. And even if they didn't have social media, if they spoke, let's just say post game, pre game, they have a voice, right? And people listen just because of where they are. So Jaylen Brown really breaking down and educating his views on police brutality and his position on it, feeling comfortable enough to do that. Um, he wants to use his platform to inspire and encourage voting, especially in the Black community. We have an election coming up. 2020 has been a wild year. We're in wild times right now. So just preaching the importance of voting, getting out there, taking advantage of your opportunity. So salute goes out to Jaylen Brown, and then any of the other athletes that are gaining their their comfort level, and kind of getting their feet under them to speak up and promote change in a positive way as well. So that's what we wanted to kind of touch on in our social piece. We're gonna move on to the first round of the NBA playoffs right now. Basketball is back once again. Shout out to
So
Adam.
let me ask you a question: how do you think the quality of basketball has been in the bubble?
How do I think the quality of basketball been? I think it's been up and down. I think getting back into it is, first off, you have people during that, I believe it was a 4-month break. You have people that were hooping and working out every day, sticking to their normal routine, and you got people that was chilling, kind of got away from it, maybe came back towards the restart. And I mean, I think it shows. Like, I don't even think it's like,
I think Zion came back out of shape.
Bro, Zion, I really feel like he was chilling. Like, I don't understand the minute restriction thing. You had 4 months to get right. And just kind of the New Orleans vibe threw me off. I mean, it shows the coach got fired.
Yeah, coach got fired. Like, I expect
they just look like they look disinterested, and
I would expect them to come in the bubble with a little bit more intensity.
Right. Like, the NBA threw them a lob, and they're
not ready yet. They need another year, but they're not ready.
I mean,
taking this bubble, because obviously Max knows love gambling. So what was crazy, when I texted Max like a week or two ago, before the bubble, the average over under in an NBA game was 206.
Mm-hmm.
It's 230 now. So it's 230. It's like 229 point something. So I just rounded 230. So you take like the first few games I watch and they're hitting. So almost every team's statistics, except for, I got to look back, but almost every team's defensive statistics have gone down. Every team. So you're looking at more of, without the fan base there, it's turned into, in my opinion, pickup basketball.
Right.
Just my opinion. So it's more of an organized pickup Rutgers Park type style of play, where you got guys pulling up from spots that they wouldn't be pulling up from 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh yeah, it's real comfortable. You can kind of see it in some of the when they're playing, and then some of the replays, it's quiet. Like, I don't think us viewing on TV get a sense of how different that dynamic is.
I think especially like the pumped in crowd noise, and like it gotta be weird. Like, I have seen guys like LeBron. He's like, I haven't played in an empty gym since, who knows, probably 8th grade or something.
Yeah.
He caught a dunk one game and like turned around and look at the crowd, just put his head down, just started jogging down court. Like,
but then you got guys that are like Devin Booker. He came out and
he gonna get it regardless. He don't care.
But I've never seen Dame Lillard play this good. Like, I've never seen him play this good. Like he plays so good that like people are like, yo, he's the best point guard in the league. And it's not, outside of Steph, like, it's kind of the argument now. Like, he got to win something, obviously, but he's been doing this thing. Like,
he's hooping for sure.
But yeah, so speaking on Devin Booker, I was actually talking to one of my buddies who's not a huge NBA fan, but I think the biggest takeaway from the bubble is it gave the sports world a look at the NBA talent and the future of the NBA for the next decade and a half.
Absolutely.
You got guys who are like, oh, dude, you see Devin Booker's game last night? They had no idea who he was 5 months ago. No idea. So you got guys like, you got guys like Trent, you got guys like Booker, guys a household name, Trent Hoops. But what I'm saying is, like, you got so many like average sports fans who all they knew for the past 10 years were LeBron, Steph, KD, etc. And now they're like, whoa, who's this Luka guy? Who's Devin Booker? Like, so I think it's like Baz said earlier, like, Adam Silver's done such a good job in creating this bubble where everyone's like looking around now, like, oh, the NBA is going to be fine when LeBron's gone.
Right.
Like we're if anything, there's more talent in the league now than there's been, arguably ever. So especially at the guard level.
Expect the guard and the bigs. Like
Yeah.
people over 7 feet bringing the ball up. Like the lineup in the beginning of the bubble, like when they first started it back into the regular season games, with the Denver's lineup was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you have the Joker at point guard. I think the shortest person in the lineup was Jeremy Grant.
6'9", yeah.
6'9". Bo. Come on. People did not know who Bo was. And that's a fact.
I knew who Bo
We know who he is, but they didn't.
I know what you mean. The average person. People knew his father, but not him.
Yeah. But people don't understand how good he was coming out of high school. Like, he was a top 5 recruit going to Oregon out of high school.
Yep.
He got injured, so, he kind of fell off. And same thing with Michael Porter. Like, those are high school All-Americans that got hurt.
And their thing with their injuries is they're, like, legit injuries.
Absolutely.
Right? So, Bobo being 7'2", 7'3" with a broken foot is scary. Michael Porter Jr. being a legit 6'10" with a bad back, you're taking a risk. But Denver was in a situation where they could do that, and now if it pays off, Jesus Christ.
They have a lot of talent over there.
Let's do the East first though.
Let's do it. Let's go East. Go game by game.
Yeah, that 1-8 matchup, Bucks and Magic. I mean, I don't think we need to spend time here.
Hey, but Markelle Fultz for coming back strong and being the starting point guard on the Eastern Conference playoff team.
Do your thing, man.
I think they've done it 4.
Yeah, 4-0 sweep.
All in favor for 4?
Yep.
They're done.
All right, so the 2-7 matchup we have the Raptors and the Nets. Now we're recording this, and the Raptors just took care of business. Nets came in shorthanded, but they've been hooping. I gotta respect it. They have been hooping.
I'm gonna give
Brian's point with these overs. It's just like, how much points did Raptors? First off,
it was like 260 points in this game. 250 points.
It's really going crazy. Say it again, Brian.
I think there was 260 points scored in that game. I mean, granted it. I mean, 144 points. Or 244. I'm sorry.
That's a good basketball team. Like, yeah, they lost Kawhi, but Siakam, it was so lovely to see him destroy Draymond Green last year in the finals because he is terrible.
All we gotta do.
I just want to let you know that I've been consistent with this for years, and Siakam exposed him in the finals last year.
See, my theory with Draymond, Draymond. The thing with Draymond is he talks and has that energy as if he's a star player, but this energy has got him to this point, right? His personality, his energy. So he worked himself, salute to him. He worked himself in the position to get paid that $100 million payday like he did.
Absolutely.
But the other side of it is when your running mates get hurt. Clay was out for the season. Steph broke his wrist. And it's kind of like you stuck in no man's land.
He's out of there.
Oh.
I'm sorry to tell you, he's out of there.
You think they're going to get rid of him?
Yeah, I think they need to.
They got to get rid of that money.
I think they're going to try to – they want to go after Giannis, so I think that has to happen. But let's get back to the playoff. That's a whole nother –
Yeah, all right. I got Raptors. I had them sweeping even before the first game. I think they win each game by double digits. Easy. Nets are fucking banged up. They had a good run, but you got teams like, I don't know. I don't even see them sniffing a game, to be honest. I really don't.
I really want to give the Nets one game, but
I know, me too, bro. Me too. I can't do it.
So I think we got 2 sweeps in the East so far.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to give the Nets a game just because I think with this bubble situation, with this first round, a lot of teams are going to be working to get back into form. Perfect example of that is the Clippers. I mean, we'll get to that, but I think a lot of teams will be working to get back in form. So they're going to play hard throughout. I don't think they'll let up a game. Brooklyn I mean, went down there shorthanded, like I said, but
We
yeah,
know with Brooklyn, we know next year's that's
yeah.
the year. That's the show for them. We'll see how good this Brooklyn team is when they get them.
I just want to see the dynamic of KD.
Those two killers. Like I ain't gonna lie. Greek Freak can't beat that. He ain't beating that.
It's too much. It's too much.
What's the next matchup?
We got 3-6. We got Boston. We got the Celtics versus the 76ers.
I'm going 6.
That game one just went by. Celtics squeaked it out.
Did Jaylen Brown get hurt?
No, I think I think they said he got shaken up. I think it was like in the second or third quarter. He still dropped 32 tonight, but
yeah, I was gonna say
they won 109-101.
Okay.
So Shabazz, who you got? What you got for that?
I got 6. I got Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6. I agree. Brian.
Yeah, I got him in 5, but I mean that's just because I'm a big Celtics. I don't know. I'm a big Celtics fan. I think they know who they are. I think that they're not trying to be, someone they're not. Sixers a little banged up, and I don't know. I just think they're just too good for the Sixers.
I believe in Jason Tatum. I think he's legit that guy. And Jaylen Brown taking that next step, that duo on the wing could be dangerous in the East.
Yeah.
Come this time. Still waiting for Kemba to get back to form. We know how that gets. Cardiac Kemba, well aware in Connecticut. So we need him to get back to form, but I think the Celtics are going to be solid. I think it's very hard to stop a player like Tatum. I mean, we kind of see that form. He's in that Paul Pierce, that mellow bag. You know that, Shabazz. It's hard to stop that in these type of situations. So
he's very skilled. He's a very skilled basketball player.
Very young.
At a young age, so I feel like I'm taking JT as the best player in that series.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yep. I think Joel Embiid. I think he better get ready for a reshape. I think Ben Simmons and him is. I think that's done. I think that experience. Trust the process is over. The process didn't work. Let's start it over. Split them up, and see what you can do in Philly.
So who are y'all trading? First off, who are y'all sending out?
I'm gonna send out Joel Embiid.
I knew you was gonna say that. Brian, who you sending out?
Joel Embiid. To be honest, I never liked him.
I thought.
I'm just being honest. I never thought he was great.
Those Kansas guys, they don't have that it. Like him and Andrew Wiggins are like the same type of player for me, where like they have a lot of skills, but their drive is like Embiid, why are you shooting 6 threes a game? Like, put someone in the post. You're too good.
So do we have the move right now to get them better or not? We'll come back to it. Like if we're moving Embiid.
Yeah. Where does he go?
Who you got?
Maybe Embiid goes, I don't know, maybe he goes with Luka or something. Luka and Porzingis.
I think like y'all said, I think it's I don't know
where else would you put Embiid in the league where it's like
probably the G League.
I feel like what do you say?
I would put him down for a couple years, have him figure it out. Put him in the G League.
I don't think Embiid meshes with Luka and Porzingis. I think they're trying to establish their own culture over there. You would have to take that into consideration if you're going to move somebody like Embiid. Like the playoffs last year for him was like it was weird. Like the game he sat out and
I don't know where you put him. If I'm the Warriors, send Draymond and some bum ass players over there try to get Embiid.
Bro, Philly is not trading in Joel Embiid for Draymond Green. They're not gonna do that.
They're both trash bags.
Trash bags. All right, 4-5. He.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, right?
All right, you go first because I got something.
I'm down here, and you know, Miami people think different, man. They really do.
So do they really believe that's like a championship caliber team?
I think so. I think they do. Well, what I've heard, if I had to put some thought processes together, is that if they can get past the Bucks, they're going to the finals.
Wow.
That's what they're saying.
Is that their matchup in the first round?
No, second round. That'd be the second round. So if they can get past the Bucks in the second round, they're going to the finals.
I don't think they got who's checking Giannis.
Bam.
I like Bam. I like Bam a lot.
Adebayo. But I mean, sticking to this first round, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I just think in this scenario, I think that Heat get the Pacers out of there. Like, I don't even Pacers.
What about all bubble TJ Warren? Like,
Jimmy's not going for that though. And it's not only the fact that Jimmy's not going for it, is they have Jimmy, Jay Crowder, Bam, Iggy. Like they're gonna put hands on him. Like if it gets to a situation like TJ Warren, he's not 30, 35, 40, that's out the window. There's no way. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say the Heat in 5.
Okay. I got it. I think Heat in 6.
So this is gonna sound crazy. I got Heat sweeping, and here's why. Jimmy Butler's that dude. He sat there and said, "I'm not here to make friends." And the look in his eyes, he's an assassin. Former Bull, my team, saying, "I'm not here to make friends." He's an animal. First of all, arguably a top 5 guard defender. Arguably, right? TJ Warren, name someone else that can score at will on that team. You can't.
Are we giving him the at will scoring though?
So in the bubble, in the bubble, that's what he's showed us.
Has he showed us?
Yeah,
So what happened when they played the Heat though?
Well, why do you think I got the Heat sweeping in 4?
Okay.
Jimmy Butler's that dude. Jimmy Butler's that
70,
dude.
65?
What?
I said, what percentage are we giving Victor Oladipo, like him hooping right now? 70? He's not healthy. This isn't Vic. Not the Vic we know. That was a bad knee injury too. I don't even think he was gonna play at first. But he ended up playing in the bubble.
Yeah. I mean
I say 5. I'm gonna give the Pacers a game, but I think like the Heat are a very deep team. Like I've looked into it, and it's just like they're deep.
Yeah, but I love Jimmy Butler. I just think he's an absolute animal on defense, and
they love him. His teammates love him down there. So
man,
it's Heat culture. That's why they accepted him so easy. Like it was a smooth transition. Wade stamped him, and it was green light from there.
Yeah, he's been a savage forever in this league. He doesn't care what anyone says. He's an absolute animal. I love Jimmy, and I think after TJ Warren, the Pacers might as well play the Central Connecticut Blue Devils.
Damn.
See?
That's how I feel. Take TJ Warren out of that team, they're not even in the playoffs.
And we giving that to TJ Warren? All right. So we have the Bucks advancing. We have the Raptors advancing. We have the Celtics and the Heat. Top 4 teams, just like we thought. Only disappointment is the no Ben Simmons factor. So that takes away a little bit of it.
For sure.
But I mean, it's the 4 teams everybody thought, and then it gets interesting from there. But going to the West.
All right, so that's
listen. Before you go crazy, relax. Relax.
I'm just gonna get it out the way.
Relax. Don't even do it. Listen, let me start this out. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck. Tell me. 1-8. Lakers, Blazers. What I'll say is, if we had this Blazers squad all year, we can't really do ifs in sports because it's always ifs and ifs and ifs. But they are not an 8 seed. I will say that. Saying that, I say if I'm being realistic, and everybody knows Melo's my guy, so I'm rolling, I got to say Lakers in 6.
If you go back to the predictions, I told you that the Blazers wasn't going to make the playoffs. They snuck in there by the skin of their teeth.
Because of the bubble. Yeah, they weren't going to make the play because they didn't have the bigs.
I think
Nurkic is really playing well. Like, he's playing very good.
He played out of his mind the other night. Dame, you're doing great things, but I'm sorry, you got to go home. Melo, you got to go home. You got to leave the bubble. You got to go home. LeBron is not having that. AD is not having that.
Yeah. Let's put the spotlight on Anthony Davis for a second. I think that name is kind of being forgotten for some odd reason.
So I'll say this. My favorite player ever is Dwayne Wade. But Anthony Davis is the best player LeBron has ever played with.
Yeah. I mean, if you just take the name and you just really look at the point in their careers, like,
yeah, exactly,
entering his prime. So
Anthony Davis is absolutely unbelievable, and it's really not saying much that he's one of the best players LeBron's ever played with, because the best player LeBron played with for almost a decade was Big Z and Mo Williams. So,
yeah.
When he went to Miami, obviously he had Bosh and Wade, but besides that, LeBron's really had no talent whatsoever his entire career. Now,
don't forget Kyrie.
Back to the
hold on. Time out. Let me qualify these statements. Brian is, if
LeBron was a
Carmelo,
female.
we had Carmelo and me. We had Brian and LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron's my dude. LeBron's my dude. Now, here's the issue I have with Anthony Davis. He makes when LeBron's on the bench. So typically, what they'll do is like 2-3 minutes left in the first quarter, LeBron comes out. AD will play by himself. Anthony Davis doesn't make anyone better, ever. He makes Anthony Davis better. So, issue that I'm having is, I mean, look at his years with the Pelicans. He made average players average, and that's why he never got anywhere. He arguably had more talent on that Pelicans team than LeBron had in Cleveland when he came into the league. So, I think that the reason why the Lakers are struggling when LeBron's on the bench is because, Anthony Davis always catches the ball high key or post, and, they'll double him, and LeBron makes all the average shooters on that team great because he puts them in great position. And when LeBron's on the bench and AD's on the court alone, the Lakers look like a 7 or 6 seed because, I don't know. So that's the only issue I have with Anthony Davis is he makes Anthony Davis better. He doesn't make anyone else around him better. And that's the only issue that I have with LeBron playing with him.
Okay. I think to that point, I think that's what makes the Anthony Davis and Giannis discussion difficult, is because, like, Giannis wins. He's been winning. And Anthony Davis, like you just said, had that team in New Orleans, and it's been a lot of struggles.
Love the guy. Great, absolutely phenomenal talent. It's just, having talent is different than being a phenomenal basketball player. So I don't know. That scares me.
What do we think about this guard matchup though? Like, if you have to put Caldwell Pope on CJ McCollum, and who is guarding Damian Lillard? Do we have a name? Is that Caldwell Pope? Is he gonna do it? Because that's an issue. That's really a problem.
I tell you,
listen, it's not as hard as you think, because all you gotta do is, okay, just play. They're gonna put a defender. You just play the jump shot. We got bodies at the rim to meet him at the rim. So you play the jump shot. I think that's what the Lakers are gonna try to do. Is
you want to play the jump shot versus Lillard?
Yes, you want to take the jump shot away from him. Like, you don't want to let him come off the screen and just pull up from 35. So I think they're gonna try a lot of blitzing him off the screen, making other people beat them. Because let's be real, D-Lil has to have 35 plus a night for them to be in the game with the Lakers. he would have to pull off one of the best. He would have to get on a Dirk-like run to beat LeBron in them.
Shit. Well, all right. I said Lakers in 6. What numbers are we looking like?
5. Lakers 5.
Yeah, I got him in 5 too. I think LeBron's averaged just over 29 minutes a game in the bubble, almost 30 minutes a game, and which compared to Lillard, I think Lillard's playing 40. So the thing with the Blazers that's going to hurt them is every game has been a playoff game this whole bubble. So every game they're treating like a legit playoff game. Dude, they're shot. I mean, you can even look at the past couple games on a bunch of fast breaks. These dudes are literally just chilling. So I think they're going to get absolutely hosed. They're just exhausted, dude. They've had to treat literally every game like a finals game just to even be here. I think they're run down.
I don't think they're exhausted. I think they played 8 games.
Who, Lakers?
No, he's talking about the Blazers.
No, Portland. But Lillard's played almost every single minute of every game.
Yeah, they only played 8 games, but Lillard has had to play hard. Like, they were playing the Nets the other night. If Lillard doesn't go get 40, they're losing that game. And we talking about Ja going against Brown. Or maybe Ja versus D-Book, and that's what we get.
Yeah.
All right. If the argument is 5 or 6, we can move on.
Yeah. Lakers win.
2-7. Now, this is where it gets interesting.
2 is who?
We have the Clippers.
Clippers and Mavericks.
Oh, Luka Legend. Luka Legend.
Shabazz, defend it. This is your guy.
Listen, it's an uphill battle. Don't get me wrong. The Clippers are a better team. But I don't think your average NBA fan understand how good Luka is.
I'm rolling.
I think, truly, I'll put him in my top 5.
Stamp it.
Already. Top 5 in my top 5 already. And it's why he's in my top 5, because I can think that his career, he can keep doing what he's doing because
21.
Based off athleticism. He's a skillful player. He plays the pick and roll very good. He shoots the 3. He gets to the rim. He makes his Porzingis is playing good. Like,
shout out to Porzingis.
He makes his teammates better. I just don't think they have enough to beat the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And Kawhi and PG, you could switch bodies on them. It's gonna be tough.
I think if Luka's gonna play his game. So what I've read and what I've heard is Luka doesn't care about all this talking that they're gonna do. He's been hooping like this. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. I think if he becomes too much of a problem, Kawhi is gonna have to deal with that. But the thing about that is, watching the Mavericks play, Luka literally has the ball all the time. So it's going to be difficult to ask one of their role players to step out of their game and beat the Clippers on a 4 out of 7 times. I don't see it. That's my only thing. I think they need, in today's league, I think they're a wing away. The Mavericks.
Right now, currently, update, tie game. 57-57. Luka got 15, 6, and 5.
Okay.
Second quarter. So
15,
it looks like
5.
it's going to be a good one. Paul George has 15. Kawhi has 15. Porzingis and Luka have 15. So the 4 stars all got 15 points before halftime. So
shout out Tim Hardaway too. He's been hooping in the bubble.
Yeah, he has. He got 3 threes right now. Looking in live.
Now is Montrez is playing? That's a good sign for the Clippers. Clippers are deep, man. Clippers are deep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Clippers in 7. Only 7 because my thing with the Clippers, they haven't really been one team
all year.
It's just been like, and in this situation with the whole pandemic and the bubble, it sets them back even farther. Now you got people, Lou Williams going to get wings. You know, Montrez dealing with.
Really getting wings. We know what he was doing.
He was in there going crazy. We know.
You don't go to Magic City just for wings.
He was in there going crazy. I mean, I ain't want to say too much, but Montrez
Yeah.
having the loss in the family, just coming back and into the bubble. So people, they got to get back into form. Like another thing with the Clippers, the two players that I just named, they are both in 6-man of the year consideration on the same team.
Yeah, both averaging 17 points.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Especially when you got Kawhi and PG already on the team. That's gonna
be tough in the West.
Yeah.
I say Clippers in 7.
I got them in 6. I got Clippers in 6. I mean, they essentially have 2 teams on one compared to 90% of the league. I mean, I don't know. There's such a good fourth quarter team. I think if this is a 3-quarter game, Mavericks would win. I just think that they're so deep. I just don't see Dallas, even if they have leads going into the fourth quarter. I just don't see them holding off. But I'll give Dallas 2, just because Luka's an absolute savage. I got his jersey coming in the mail relatively soon, and I'm a big Luka fan too. But I mean, European guys don't lead guys to NBA championships. That's the only thing I'm gonna say.
Do they?
We can do a whole segment on that, but I just don't feel like European basketball players can lead an NBA team to NBA championships.
So only Germans.
Huh?
Only Germans.
I don't even want to talk about the Dirk here. I don't even count. But Luka is an incredible talent. No, seriously, I just don't think that European guys are leaders. That's going to sound bad, but
no, I definitely say it's gonna be tough. But I think this is a different type of European. Like I've been watching this kid play since he was 15.
To be legitimate contenders, I think they need another wing.
Yes, I think Kevin Durant should have went to Dallas, and then
imagine that.
Nah.
No, I tell you what though, Max and I were talking the same thing with Portland. Dame's one stud away. You give him a top 20 guy, dude, he's right up there every year. So I think
him and PG give him PG and let's see how that turns out. I'm not saying they win the chip, but
you can be right up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing with Dallas. I mean, I agree with that. I just don't think we've ever seen anyone like Luka in the NBA before. You know what I mean? So hard to say, but
so we got the Clippers winning that.
Yeah.
3-6. All right, now it gets interesting. 3-6. Actually, this doesn't get that interesting for me. I'm not a buyer of the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell, salute, but I just don't. I don't like the Jazz.
They're not good enough.
I don't like their team.
No, they lost me a lot of money this year. I'm not. No.
See?
No, I'm all set with that.
The Wings.
Already got a bad taste in his mouth.
There's no way your star player scores 57 and you lose by 10 points in overtime.
In overtime. That means Donovan Mitchell, he couldn't even catch his breath. He looked up at the scoreboard, he down 10. That's it.
It's over. Bye-bye. And then that's tough.
First game, it might –
I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this on record. Whoever voted for Defensive Player of the Year last year and gave Rudy Gobert should be ashamed of themselves. Because I've never seen so many guards go at a footer and lay him at the rim consistently.
Oh, God.
I got Nuggets in 5.
Yeah.
I was going to go 6 before I saw this game, but I think they took the Jazz best punch. I mean, the Jazz they're missing – I mean, Conley.
They're missing Bogan. He's
but
it's over for them. We don't even need to wait.
Nuggets advance.
Mitch, just keep taking videos in the bubble. Enjoy your time because you'll be going home shortly. Don't worry about it. Definitely, we like you on the program, but you're not doing it, Rudy Gobert. If you want to talk about Europeans being soft, he is the poster boy.
What's the discussion? What's the real discussion they had with this coronavirus? Because reports came out that he wasn't really feeling Rudy. So
I think Rudy gets traded in the offseason. I think it's done.
I do.
Like Like I watched so many teammates not even want to dap him up during the games. Like they really don't like the guy.
It's just like,
Really
yo,
don't like the
move,
guy.
man. Just move. Just move.
Yeah, it's better off. I don't know where he can go. He might need to go play for Pop. Oh, he might need to go play for Popovich.
I don't know. Y'all talk about Embiid. Shit, go Barry. Just like.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. He's soft as French fries.
So now we get to the real movie. Houston, Oklahoma. Now there got to be some differences in opinion on this one.
Listen, man, I'm loving what CP3 did with the Thunder.
Brian, I know where this is going.
But I'm telling you right now, Russ and the Beard are about to smoke these Thunder. And I like Shai Gilgeous. That's my guy, too. Beard been playing defense. First off, please recognize the defense that my man been playing in the bubble. Please recognize it. And Russ is Russ. He got to get healthy, 100%, quad. I think that first 2 games, James is probably going to go, big Beard.
I think Russ should chill out.
40.
For a little bit.
I think they went in 6. CP3, he's a all-time great point guard, but he's a loser if we're going to be talking about it. He's a loser. He's been great everywhere he went, but he's also lost everywhere he went.
Rockets have the best 2 players in the series on their team. I think I believe they win the series in advance to meet the Lakers. That being said, I don't think it's definitely not no cakewalk.
No, it's gonna be a tough 6. It ain't gonna be it's not gonna be like a Raptors Pacers 6. It's gonna be
And one of my favorite dynamics of the bubble, you can hear everything. Oh, Harden and CP3 and Westbrook, they're gonna be talking, man. Oh my God. If somebody catches I'm not gonna be surprised if somebody catches an elbow.
Russ is definitely elbowing somebody on the Thunder. He might push Billy Donovan over a chair or something.
About to look like the WWE out there. He may have to talk to Shea. Like, listen, I see you hooping, my boy. Like, I see you, but listen, you gotta chill out.
He gonna have to grow up real fast. So they're gonna put him on hard, and it's gonna be
CP3 better get him right for the Wolves, man. Because Westbrook and Harden,
they're angry.
In the regular season, it was like we saw glimpses, but them 2 getting it. Brian, you're quiet. What are we talking about? What are you doing?
I just got something that's gonna shock the world, man.
Here you got Thunder in 6.
No, this is gonna sound crazy, and I was literally having the argument with my buddy the other day. I think Rockets sweep, and here's why. I think they went in 4. 7 months ago, before the season started, or when it was going underway, everyone thought this Thunder team was going to be trash. Everyone wrote them off. It's not no joke. They should not be here. And I think that let's also not forget, Houston has 2 former MVPs in the same team.
Yes,
2 former MVPs in the same team.
They don't get the respect they deserve.
And they're still both in their prime.
They're the highest scoring duo ever in the regular season.
So I don't know, especially in this bubble. Like I think my thoughts would be a little bit different if it wasn't a bubble format. But like I said, this is like an NBA Jam Street, Rucker Park type of basketball. It's not the basketball we're used to. I mean, guys are shooting almost 10 more shots a game. And I don't know. I just think the Rockets are way, way too talented for this Thunder squad. Respect to CP3, but like Beth says, I mean, I think the last time he won was in middle school or high school. I mean,
he is a perennial loser. I love CP3, but he's a perennial loser.
Great guy. Like I nothing but respect for him, but I just think this Rockets team, I think people are just totally underestimating the power that they're going to run through. And I have them beating the Lakers. So when we go to the second round, I got them beating the Lakers in the second round. If you want to transition into the second round and start with that game, I got the Rockets in 6 against the Lakers in the second round.
We're gonna leave the people with that spice right there. We cannot go to the second round right now. But I like it. I like it. Shit, we talk about guard play with the Blazers. You putting guard play on steroids with the Rockets.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So, I mean,
it's a guard bubble. It's a guard bubble.
Yes, it is a guard bubble. Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Westbrook and Harden in their bag at the same time. That's scary.
This, like Brian said, this bubble is for skilled players. Like, 4 of the most skilled players in the world are not in the bubble right now. Because if you get them 2 light-skinned guys from Golden State in the bubble, and you get Kyrie and KD in the bubble, that's a lot. Those are perennial all-time bucket getters.
KD in the bubble is maybe averaging 45.
That's his game. Like the bubble, like KD and
bubble KD is overrun KD. Like those are easy buckets. Easy.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I talked about when the only reason I mentioned Rucker Park is remember 9 years ago when KD went down there and he just threw up. Literally, it didn't even matter where he was. Dropped 66. This is how the bubble feels. It feels like if you go back and watch those highlights when he played Rutgers, it literally ever. It feels it. That's what these bubble games feel like. Like I wrote down these. I thought these are pretty cool. The reason why bigs are almost semi-irrelevant, especially in the bubble, is the average time of possession during the 24-second shot clock right now in the bubble is over 11 seconds. Before it used to be almost 19. So teams are just going down there and they're not even running offenses. Pick and roll, one-on-one ISO, pull up, drive, shoot, fast break, shoot, pull up.
Jump shots is either 3 or dunk. There's no in between. So the game is much faster.
6 at halftime.
It's a fast-paced guard game, and I love it. I mean, some people don't like it. I absolutely love it. So I think the teams with the deepest and best guards are going to win the finals.
Luka has 19, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds at half. Playing this game.
What's the score?
Dallas up 69-66. All right, so in the West, we have Lakers, Clippers, we have
Denver,
Rockets, and the Nuggets.
Yep.
Okay. We could
as expected. I feel what I truly feel like the first round, back to Baz's point, is with Kyrie and KD out and Steph out and Clay out, I feel like it's a very predictable first round in this year's NBA playoffs. I feel like everyone has the same opinions on the first round games.
Yeah. But that second round Rockets, Lakers, I heard it before. I did hear it, but it'll be in order for that to happen, we'll see Westbrook and Harden put in a legendary performance.
Yep. And you know that takes a lot for me to say that because I'm the biggest LeBron fan east of the Mississippi. I don't think it takes a lot for you to say that because you don't believe in that team. I don't. I think you take LeBron and Anthony Davis out, and those guys don't even deserve to be on the court. Any of those guys. Pope occasionally, but I think the rest of the guys on that team are absolute trash.
Pope as your first name that you mentioned?
I mean, he's been playing arguably. I mean, besides Kuzma, I mean, dude. I mean, LeBron has made poor. They're poor players. That team. Look what Kobe did with the Laker talent the past decade and a half. Nothing. They're just the organization shot. And it's hard for me to say that because it's, the Buss family did a great job, but they just don't know how to get some secondary guys in that team because those players are. It sickens me to watch LeBron and Davis play with those guys because they're absolutely horrible. I'm gonna get another glass of wine.
Closing thoughts on these playoffs. What do we think?
As far as who wins the championship?
No, we're gonna take it round by round.
Okay.
Do
we do all the West matchups?
Say it again.
Did we do all the West matchups?
Yeah, that's everybody. We got 8 teams. advancing. I mean, like Brian said, all the teams we expect to, at least us three expect to. Um, yeah, pretty much. I mean, we can move on from there. We can. What we can do is, man, the state of we can move on to college football. That's a complex situation. They're just fumbling all over the place. NCAA, they're literally all over the place.
So as far as the state of college football, I don't know if we're gonna have a season in the fall. I think the SEC is gonna hold out the long as they can because they're so much money. Like the numbers that the SEC makes are like Alabama football made $700 million last year, and that's just the football program. Outside of Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, there's not many teams that are going to make that much money. I've heard that the SEC will look to maybe having a super conference league for 1 year where they invite anybody that wants to actually go through in a season, but I'm hearing they might do a season in a specific state where all the teams are. You just run the conference schedule.
Hey, listen, don't even worry about your classes. Just play football, man. Don't even worry about it. I do want to give a shout out to Justin Fields. This just shows the power that these guys have. Now, he started this petition.
Yep, I saw that.
Recently canceled the season. Started a petition, and right now it's running over 200,000 signatures. There have been complaints all over the place from the Big Ten. Where they messed up was
Iowa team parents wrote to the headquarters of the NCAA.
This shit looks like middle school. Like this is crazy.
So I think talking back on when Baz brought up Adam Silver being when we were talking about change for social justice and everything, when he was talking about him and creating the bubble, I think that another thing that makes Adam Silver great is now trickling down through professional sports into college. Now college teams are like, wow, this bubble idea is absolutely incredible. And I think a lot of other professional leagues drop the ball, even though, with baseball, obviously it's a lot harder and everything can be more condensed at the NBA level. But I think that even if they have to hold off to the spring, I love the idea of these guys going and having maybe even a shortened schedule and
in the
all the conference guys playing in the same state. Like just like what baseball should have done. Baseball should have had a bubble on the West Coast, a bubble in the Midwest, and a bubble on the East Coast. Everyone plays their games and go from there. So I think that
you're saying in the spring.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know. I mean, I think the issue.
Go ahead, my fault.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I just think that right now, a lot of these guys, obviously, everyone wants them to play. The whole, let us play hashtag. Everyone wants you to play. You want to play. That's not the issue. And I think now that, granted, my daughter's young, but having a kid makes you think about it differently. Like if my son was playing college sports right now, and especially playing in the Midwest or down south, I don't know if I would feel comfortable letting them play right now. They're amateur athletes for a reason. They have to let other people make decisions for them. That's why your goal is to become a professional athlete. You're not a professional. You're a student. Student athlete comes first. And the whole Trevor Lawrence thing where, if the schools are letting us go to class in the classroom, why can't we play? Well, last time I checked, Trevor, number one, you don't go to class. Number two, you don't go to classes in different states. So traveling is the issue, not playing football. I think traveling is the biggest issue. And if that can get somehow resolved and, everyone can kind of create like a conference bubble, I think then they should definitely play. But as of right now, I mean, the NCAA might as well be, blind.
The only thing with that is I think I like the conference bubble idea. It's just if we push the college season back to the spring, going with the football timeline, it's I don't think it's realistic for these guys, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, or anybody projected in the first round. And that's another thing. People, this college season, I mean, we know every
I'm a
season.
first round pick. I might not play.
I'm not.
No, no, I know.
On the spring. Why would I do that? That's not even. That would be a no brainer. People are opting out now, but I don't. It doesn't make sense for them to play in the spring, and then you put in like the quality of football. So at that point, if people, not only would those players opt out, it would be a trickle down effect. Like, all right, then we'll just sit out this season. So
Yeah. Do it or don't do it. Essentially, that was my first thought too. Yeah.
In maybe late fall, and I think if anything, it would have to be a condensed schedule. You can't go obviously the full season, but I don't see a player like Justin Fields or a Trevor Lawrence playing football in the spring and then turning around and getting drafted to a franchise that would want them to possibly start next football season. It just the timeline doesn't add up for me.
No, I know. I get that. That's true. That's true.
So I mean, the NCAA they have to figure it out. The idea of letting conferences decide for themselves and not having a uniform decision.
The NCAA is broken.
Broken. Everyone's known that for forever.
Forever. It needs to be fixed, and this might be the time that it's fixed. First off, the first thing that needs to happen, they need to bring back NCAA football. That's the first thing that needs to happen. But then they need to pay these athletes for their, they have taken steps. They're paying for likeness.
Did you guys see that report that if they were going off social media alone?
Yeah.
I think Fields is bringing in over $1 million.
Yeah, I can see it. Why not? They're bigger than life. Like, it's not hard to see. Like, Fields. My thing with Fields, if the Big Ten doesn't play this season, I can see Fields trying to get a waiver to go to the SEC or somewhere and play.
He needs, for him, he had a great season last year, but that was only his first year starting college football. He needs to continue to develop. And that's where the scouting for NFL teams has to be a nightmare. Like,
nightmare. Well, that's why he's been such an advocate about
drafting second rounds. Like, people find sleepers in round 6, round 7. Shit, Tom Brady. So if they don't have the season, it's just like, shit, I think he's good.
I'm saying right now he's evaluated as a top 10 pick. Second quarterback.
Not Fields. I'm just talking about in general. With like,
okay, yeah. I get
other players.
Like, there's some that this is gonna hurt, but then there's some like you will lessen your chance of maybe injury. Like the DN from Miami, like you lessen your chance for injury. You train for a year, bigger, stronger, faster, and then go into the league and make your money there. I definitely, especially if I'm a top player with high, like Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Surtain from Alabama, Ohio State receivers, O-linemen, those top guys where I know, like, listen, my grade is already first round. It could kind of save some guys some money because, some guys be projected first round picks and then they have a rough season and then they drop to the third or fourth round.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I hope there's a college football season. I make a lot of money during college football season, so I'm banking on that.
For sure. And what we can do is wrap this up. Who is our athlete of the week? Our legendary performer.
We all the same guy?
I think it's I'm going with Lillard, obviously.
That's who go.
I'm going with my athlete of the week. I'm not going to lie, it's Devin Booker.
Salute.
I'm a big D Book guy. You know, I've watched him grow. I told people that they were going to be in the playoffs this year. Fell short, you know, of my
What?
prediction.
Maybe you said that before Aiden got that 25 game suspension.
What drug was he on?
I don't know. I don't know. 25 games is crazy.
Yeah, but Devin Booker definitely showed that he's a star. Like he's a
And was Oubre hooping in the bubble?
Say that again.
Was Oubre hooping in the bubble?
No, he wasn't. I think he missed out because the North Carolina guy got his feet wet, had a good bubble. Tar Heel. You know how that goes. Cam Johnson.
Young shooter.
So I like that team. I like Devin Booker's game. I think he showed you might not be able to see him as much on the East Coast, but I think he's in the same category as Brad Bill and CJ McCollum. Those top-notch guys.
Totally.
I think Book has a higher ceiling than them.
Yeah, I think he's. I think next year he'll average 30 points.
This is the question, though. This is really the question. We seen bubble play. We seen some teams perform up, and some teams perform down. Yeah. But if we look at the Western Conference, right, and we think about the Warriors coming back into the equation, somebody is going to be disappointed out west for not making the playoffs. Now, we have the Lakers.
So you're saying who's not making the playoffs next year?
Who's not? We have yes.
The Jazz are out of there. The Thunder might be out of there as well.
Yep.
So, Jazz, Thunder out, Warriors, Suns in, or Warriors?
Memphis in. Warriors, Memphis might be in.
Nets.
Another thing people don't realize, my only thing about, because I seen a lot of people saying that the Grizz didn't deserve to be in the playing game. It should have been the Suns. I see it, but I don't think it's fair to take away the Memphis played well all season. And
Ja elevated them past expectations.
And their second best player towards is in the bubble.
Exactly.
So it's that end product where everybody started paying attention. Oh, this team isn't better than the Suns. Well, I mean, obviously, but
they have a nice little core though.
They do.
What's the other kid name?
Got to figure it out, man.
Clark played well in the bubble. Clark played well.
Dylan Harris. They got some tough players.
Yeah.
Tough, and they all young too.
The NBA's in good hands. There's some young players. The Pelicans got to be right there pushing for a playoff spot next year. That's a lot of teams that didn't make it. That next year, y'all got it. Zion's next year. There's no excuses.
Enough's enough.
Yeah. You got to get in shape. Brandon Ingram, he most improved player in the league.
Yeah.
And I would love for the Lakers to have traded Kuz instead of B.I. I think they would be in a lot better situation. If you put an AD with a B.I. and with Bron and B.I. as your third option, I think that Laker team's a lot more dangerous. Because I told people this, Kuzma was a 4-year player.
Kuzma is a star though.
Yeah, when he came out, he was more close to his ceiling than B.I. had even reached yet. B.I. wasn't even grown into his body yet.
We know what the best version of Kuzma looks like.
Yeah, 17 and 8. That's the best Kuzma you're gonna get. B.I. is gonna give you 27 maybe next year.
And he adds another person that can create a shot for LeBron.
Create a shot, exactly. Play off the ball as well. Kuzma, and then I didn't like that Kuzma came out and said, if I was on the other team, I'd be starting I just play behind the best player.
That's why I said he thinks he's a star. It's
I feel like you got a little bit more work to do before you can make those type of statements.
I think going back to your before I go off about Dame, because I absolutely love him. Going back on the Booker pick for athlete of the week, I think that now, and I have a couple buddies that work for ESPN. So this whole NBA bubble, like I said before, has created such a nationwide viewership of the NBA like the NBA has never had before, right?
Yep.
So you got dudes from Connecticut all the way out to LA who know who Devin Booker is that didn't know who he was last year, you know. So now ESPN's gonna have an issue. The connections I have over there is, okay, well, you know, when Zion came into the lineup before the bubble, they had, you know, I think they had 2 games on TNT. They had 1 on ESPN. Well, now ESPN's sitting back and is like, okay, wow, all right. So the bubble games are at an all-time high with viewership. We have all these talents across the country. Who the hell do we put on that 8 o'clock primetime spot or that 7 o'clock primetime spot? So now all these major networks are going to have an issue when you got guys like Ja, you got Zion, you got Luka, you got LeBron, you got the Warriors when they come back full strength. All these networks are going to be fighting over, you know, what teams get those spots, and which is, I think, is a good problem to have, because without this bubble, I truly don't feel like the people outside of the NBA fan club, I guess you can call it, people that really respect and view the NBA. Now you have your average sports fan that knows all these young guys coming up in the NBA. So I think that this bubble was probably the best thing to happen in the NBA in the history of the NBA, in my opinion.
But to your point, I think the media, and I've been saying this for months, the media is trying to drive Devin Booker out of Phoenix. Like, they've been consistent with that. Stephen A. months back, get him out of here. Draymond Green just got the 50K.
Yeah, get him out.
That was Draymond. You can't say that on TV. Come on, you got to think. But I think, but it's not only those two. I think they're really trying to get him out of Phoenix and get him to a primetime slot.
Oh, Devin Booker?
Book, yeah.
I don't think he wants to leave now. I think they got the coach. I think he's seen.
Williams, they love him, definitely.
I think now listen.
They got a little core too. Definitely. I mean, we'll see what pieces they can add, but
I think he's shown up so much in this bubble. Now Phoenix is like, all right, let's bring someone to book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, he's got the mentality now. Like, I want someone to come to me. I'm not going to someone else.
Let's not forget about Kelly Oubre, though.
No, you need more than Kelly Oubre to win in the West.
Of course, but
you need more with someone with the first name of Kelly on your team.
You probably need to go get. If I'm Phoenix and you want to be young, go get that ball brother. Go make it happen. Go get that ball brother to play with D Book. You want to bring young. You want to be fast paced. Take the ball.
I don't want to hear that, bro. I just want
to prepare people that LaMelo might end up on the same team with Steph Curry and Klay, which is very, 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 very dangerous.
I don't think people realize that LaMelo Ball is 6'8".
Still growing.
Like, listen, man. Let's put this in.
He's the best one. He's the best one out of the whole family.
The kid is 6'8", and he's a legit guard.
Real vision, like we ain't even just talking like scoring. Like he's point guard. Like he gonna make somebody better.
Big guard.
6'8".
This
he already told Lonzo, I'm gonna bust your ass when I get to the
straight up. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. If he comes in and goes crazy on Lonzo, it's gonna be like, damn, dude. Yo, I was on Instagram the other day, and they was like, if D Fox played against Lonzo Ball 82 games of the season, he'd be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, D Fox do be busting Lonzo ass ever since college. Like
that's tough. Man.
But you got Max. You got Dame too.
Yeah, I got Dame. Yeah. I think all the smoke coming his way, he stays solid. I think how he handled that.
Like that Clipper shit turned him to a different level. Like I ain't gonna lie.
The Clipper situation, people, you gotta respect it. You gotta salute it. I think we're not even gonna talk about all the off the court stuff with that, but I think his situation was
spicy for a minute.
Say it again.
It was getting spicy for a minute.
Oh, yeah, it was real spicy. Yeah. I think his situation with Skip Bayless. The funny thing about that situation is I didn't expect them to go like that much into detail. And then Melo had
I
the,
didn't watch. I saw it on YouTube, but I didn't get to watch it last night. So he
but
was
it was
talking
he
crazy
had
on
the,
there.
huh?
Was Skip like? What's the gist of the story? Like,
So basically, Shannon and Skip were upset with Dame like months back for saying, yo, if I go down to the bubble and I don't have a chance for the playoffs, I'm not playing. Skip's thing was he was emotional in his response. He was upset because players like Dame had his livelihood on the line with like Fox Sports and his network. Like if they didn't go play, then there was no job. So that's where he was responding. Dame felt a way about the response, got in contact with him. They did whatever they did. Now they're at a permanent disagreement. Now Skip it's LeBron, then Dame. They're over there, right? Um, that whole back and forth situation, somebody's lying. However that conversation went, somebody's not being accurate.
I would listen to it, Baz. It's pretty interesting because they're both saying two totally different things. But as soon as Dame missed those 2 free throws, Skip was just rocking his world on air.
ripping them. I already know. I haven't got.
But the thing that I don't like about Skip, and it's not only Skip, but it's some of media in general. It's like, yo, you guys make a living talking about the players, right? They respond back, and then it's World War III.
Yeah.
But you gotta give Dame credit, bro. 61, and you guys just said, like we spoke about earlier, they had all elimination games. Don't tell me if a player goes off for 61, don't nitpick the last 2 minutes and they won the game. If he would have did some bonehead stuff at the end of the game and they lost, that'd be different. Like, we as athletes, we know it's how extremely difficult it is, borderline impossible, to put together a perfect game. But I scored 61, and I believe he had 8 assists. Dame didn't even respond to that. But I know he probably spoke about it behind closed doors. I don't think we're gonna get another Dame response to Skip Bayless.
No,
Not until the playoffs is over.
No, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Once Dame loses, Skip is gonna go crazy, and then Dame will say.
It's just like my thought on that is, and part of this is kind of Dame's fault, but that loyalty to a fault where they don't get to play with the LeBrons, the top guys, right? Now, I love CJ, but if Skip is going to put Dame, if Skip is going to view Dame off of what Dame's saying and what people are telling him as a superstar, LeBron playing with Anthony Davis and Dame playing with CJ is not the same thing. Like,
yeah,
Dame, I just want to see Dame in a situation where he has that certified guy next to him.
Oh, for sure.
Because how many has CJ made an All-Star game?
Yeah.
How many?
No, he was not last year. He was the year before, I think.
Yeah, I want to say he did back-to-back or one. He might have just been a one and done. I'm not sure, but
I mean,
it's a difference between being an all-star reserve and being an all-star starter.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you're an all-star. Don't get it wrong. Like, congratulations, but when you a starter, we know you're a top 10 guy in this league.
Yeah,
and Dame needs that. He needs to go get it with a top 10 guy.
Dude, last week, this is why I had him as the guy of the week. His last week, 3 games he played, 42, 61, 51, averaging 51.2 points a game, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals a game. Average field goal percentage was 56, and his average 3-point percentage last week was 49.
People don't get that.
I saw some crazy stat like
that's bonkers.
Dame Lillard shot from 37 to 43 feet. He shot 45%. That's insane. Like they saying he hit more 37 to 43 point 3-pointers this year than Steph Curry hit. Like
at that point, you're literally beaming, like you're on fire. You're beaming hot. Every jumper you put, it feels.
He went 9 for 11 the other night from three. 9 for 11.
That's tough. I don't care if you're in the bubble, you in the gym by yourself. 9 for 11 is 9
9
for
for 11. I'm like, wow. And that goes back to the point where Max and I were talking about, like, his rookie year when he played against Kobe and he went off against Kobe, and Kobe's like, dude, this dude is for real. Like, for real. He went off against Kobe. He literally he needs a guy. He needs one guy.
He's been, this is the crazy thing with Dame. Like, he's been hitting clutch shots, like dagger shots for like a long time already in his career, like sending dudes home and on winners. That's a different type of shot. Like that Paul George shot last year was like,
that's a cold heart, man.
I watched it live and
dagger, bro. That's a fucking dagger.
I got chills when he shot that on Paul George. He just looked like it's time to go home. Like
that's a cold heart. And I love when
you hitting shots like that, you got something different in you. So I want to see Dame do good. I just think, he gonna have to make that right career move.
Does he have to leave, or does he? I don't think he's leaving, but does he have to leave, or is there a way that they can finagle something to Portland?
I say, yeah, he can stay there if Portland wants to commit to going to get somebody, or someone wants to commit to being in Portland. But until then, those bigger markets, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Dallases, those teams are going to consistently be able to try to give up whatever they got to get a Dame Lillard type player. Yeah. Like eventually Dame has to say, all right, do I want to be the loyal guy that never wins, or do I want to be the guy that, all right, man, I gave you everything I got, but I want to win a championship?
And everything that he said to this point is, I'll go down. I'll go down where I am. I'm not leaving. I'm not getting off this. And let's be honest. Like, beyond basketball, Dame Lillard has his contract is $50 million this year. Like, if you feel like Portland is home at that point,
he's got ejected.
Don't have to move. You really don't. He's 30 years old.
Yeah, game over.
I'm comfortable, man. They look me out here. Why I gotta leave? I'd rather go down like this and put my place in history, keep hooping, rather than go ring chasing.
Yeah, respect.
And that's always been a discussion.
Yeah, it's over for the Mavs. Porzingis got ejected for tonight.
He got ejected for what?
I think he headbutted somebody.
Chill out.
Him and Marquise Morris. That's what it said. That's all it says.
Marquise Morris.
Yeah, and now the Clippers are winning the quarter by 7 points.
What is?
Oh, speaking of the headbutt, Max. I think we talked about
that. Keebler.
Yeah, he can shoot.
Yo, Max, remember when Giannis headbutted what's his name the other night?
Giannis lost a lot of respect for that shit, man.
Yo, but check this out. This is why I forgot who said it on air, but that's why people don't see him as an elite superstar player, is because Zion does that, LeBron does that, KD does that, Steph does that. Yo, that's in every front headline for the next month.
They can,
you know what I mean? Like, people talked about that for literally 4 minutes for one day, and then it was over. You know what I mean?
If LeBron did something like that, it would be, like. So I'm 100% like those type of players get like. LeBron could hardly get a technical without him. LeBron's losing. Like,
shit, hasn't he only been ejected one time in his career?
LeBron, yeah.
And even I remember that ejection because everybody was looking around like, "Yo,
it was a bad ejection at that."
That's like, yo, you really did that? Brown,
he's been near perfect. He's been near perfect.
LeBron is the utmost citizen superstar. Like, it's like the dude doesn't do no wrong. Like, literally, like.
The only thing he did bad in his entire career, and I said it right from the get-go, is how he announced he was going to Miami. That's the only bad.
He won't come out.
I loved it. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I know. But you know what I mean. How people felt about it.
He won't come out and say it, but that wasn't his idea.
And dude, he was in the same exact situation, I feel, as Dame is. He's in a very low market city.
But
He's
listen, it wasn't the same situation because they would kill LeBron if he didn't have a title by now.
yeah, but I mean, how long's Dame been in Portland?
8, 6,
Dame
7.
is 30. Dame is 30.
Dame is. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's the issue is LeBron came in this league at 18. I think he
I'm
was
not,
with
Brian,
I think he was with the
I'm not
Cavs
arguing that
for 8
point.
years.
I'm just saying if LeBron James was 35 without a title still in Cleveland, he would be getting killed.
No. That's and dude, that's exactly what I'm trying to say is that fact that Dame's getting to that point now where he's got to be like, all right, if I'm not getting what I need, I got to go.
But he'll never listen. He'll never get that Bron pressure though.
Well, of course. Well, there's
Bron
not
has chosen one tattooed on his back.
ever.
Come on.
It's like it's not a lot of people ever that can get LeBron's pressure.
No, but everyone's doing it now. I mean, LeBron set the precedent. I mean, everyone's leaving. I mean, guys aren't on the same team their whole career anymore, bro.
It's not. It's like that. That is not the same no more because
Yeah.
players have understood now. A team might get rid of me. I could be in the prime of my career. If they think it's the right move, they're not making no apologies for making the trades. And LeBron was the kind of the trailblazer for we control our own narrative. Let us and now you see like Kawhi, like everybody thought, oh, Kawhi's this quiet dude, and he was on the phone. Listen, y'all can't get Paul George. I ain't coming.
Man, Kawhi and his uncle was behind the scenes moving like the mob, man. Doing what he wanted to.
But that's what you gotta get what you deserve, man. Like
You got to, dude. So the other, I don't know if you know where I'm a member over at Tumblebrook Country Club in West Hartford Golf Club.
Okay, I know.
So I'm playing the other day with one of my buddies. I'm playing with Javier Colon, who won season 1 of The Voice, Connecticut guy, and then I played with Trey Wingo. So they were talking about this whole like conversation, and Trey related it to why all the ESPN guys leave for Fox, and he related it to like everyone's jobs where you don't have to be the guy. Athletes don't have to be the guy now where they're miserable because they want to be the guy that stays and retires and plays in the same city. Where if you have a job, like if wherever you guys work, if you're not feeling like you're getting the money that you deserve and you're not put in a position to get a promotion and you're stagnant, if you're the same level at your job for 8 years and you don't go to another company, you're a moron.
You're a moron.
You're a moron.
And
same thing in sports. That's how he related it with Fox.
That's 100% fact. Like I remember, work related, going to my principal of my school, like, listen, I am worth way more than what you got doing. And he's like, I can't promise you. And I told him, I said, listen, I got a degree. I'll go get another job. So we got to make something happen. And soon enough, if you worth what you worth, they're going to make it happen.
Yep.
Because they don't want to lose. Teams don't want to lose good franchise players, and jobs don't want to use good employees. So you gotta know your worth in all situations of your life.
Yeah.
And I think LeBron is the perfect example of an athlete understanding it's bigger than me just dribbling this basketball. I'm putting my family in a situation, that they don't ever gotta work. And then, God forbid, LeBron will have a couple NBA players in his family.
Yeah, no, totally. So I mean, and I think people don't even like when I was playing with them when they were talking about the Fox and ESPN thing. Trey's like, LeBron got the bad taste, and everyone put a bad taste in everyone's mouth because it's like, oh, he's teaming up with Bosh and Wade in Miami. Trey's like, let's not forget this happened in the 80s and 90s all the time. All the time. So the fact that there's like such more media attention and social media now, it's like, oh, this guy's teaming up to, he's cheating. He's playing with A, B, and C because he wants to ring.
If you look like,
what do you think MJ did in Chicago? What do you think he did?
Exactly.
I don't like Dennis. I don't like Dennis, but I need the best defender / rebounder that will ever play this game.
Yeah,
I need him.
Same thing. Like Magic played with Kareem and Worthy and Byron Scott. Like these guys not winning championships with a dumpster. Like Larry Bird had Parrish, Ainge, like
Danny. Yep.
It's a lot. Like to be a championship team, you need a lot of winners. It's never going to be like like a lot of people like to say, oh, Dirk won it by himself. Like, yo, Dirk had a lot of Tyson Chandler.
Perfect storm too.
Prime.
Yeah,
Jason
perfect
Kidd,
storm. They were
yeah,
deep. Their bench was unbelievable.
like, it just to be a winner, you just gotta know you gotta surround yourself with winners.
You got to surround yourself with winners, dude. Just like what they say in life, like you are who you surround yourself with. Like you hang out with dudes that are degenerates, losers, drinking, smoking every day. Like you're gonna be drinking and smoking every day. Like same thing. Like you want to make a lot of money, stop hanging around with poor people. You know what I mean? So that's essentially the gist of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I think we can leave it off here. I think this time next week we should have some updates with these playoffs, and I'm sure the sports world will keep moving.
Keep churning. Keep churning.
Keep churning. Have some more stuff for us to cover. I think this was a pretty good first episode for us.
Oh yeah! Before we go, I want to shout out a couple of local things that I've been going to. Shout out to Chris first off for Impact doing a high school basketball league. Everything he's doing. I've only got to go to one game so far, but when I did go, it was an incredible environment. Supreme Athlete, who's ran by Stack Williams, Stanley. He has We Run New England 7-on-7 league that I got to go witness, and I got to see some of the best high school talent in the Northeast. Kid from committed to Michigan, couple kids with some Ohio State, Oregon offers, and it was just great to see him elevate our area, which is not always looked at as a football dominant area, to where he's bringing FBS and playoff caliber coaches here to get athletes. And as well, Big Man Academy is something that I'm a part of. It's a lineman academy. Just, giving linemen that individual skill work that's not really often publicized. You're always going to have 7-on-7s, but that lineman work is just as important. Those are a couple of local things that in the sports world that I've seen that I wanted to shout out before we got off of here.
Shout out, down here, keeping it local, shout out to the Florida Fire, continuing to work and do their thing. 7-on-7, they're a staple down here, continuously churning out athletes, ran like a factory. Looking forward to seeing more of that. Shout out to them. Like I said, our LSG aspect of the mentoring. We all do it in our own capacity.
Yep.
But moving forward, we would like to start to kind of put some stuff together for the people in that aspect. Brian, you have anything? Any last remarks?
In terms of like local stuff, I got two of my buddies are head coaches here for some local high school teams. My buddy took over Rocky Hill. So quick short story. I played at Rocky Hill High. Baz and Max played at Bloomfield. Senior year, when I had a little hair in my head, I thought I was a stud.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I was, but camera crew showed up at the school. We're playing Bloomfield. I knew we were gonna get smoked, but in front of the camera, and I told them that we were gonna. I forgot what my exact words were, but it was something crazy. And this is before I became freshman roommates with Max at Springfield when we played football at Springfield together. But our senior year in high school, I told the camera, I forgot what I said, but I was like, yeah, we're going to beat them. Yeah, no question or something. Yeah, we got run. I think we lost 28-7. Right?
No.
14?
Think about that game. I remember that game like it was yesterday. It was tied at half.
It was 14-13 at half.
14-13 at half. We went back in the half, got blasted. And then I believe
before we went to the locker room, our rival Windsor was standing in the way to our locker room, like, oh, y'all struggling at Rocky Hill, y'all gonna have a problem with us next week. So then that just got us that much more turned up, and then we got ripped. And then I remember the play that changed the game was one hand pick.
Yeah.
Off
Paris. That was
no,
Paris.
that was Strums who called that.
Oh, that was?
Yeah.
Oh.
And me and Strums had yin yang our speeds that game, by the way. If y'all, I don't know, maybe y'all don't know what yin yang and cleats are, but we did that. It was hard.
Tell you what, though, I tell you what, for a little Italian team, we didn't do too bad. So
not at all. And to go even further, when I came into coaching at Bloomfield, our toughest game of the year was Rocky Hill. Like we had I think we won 51-48 overtime on Rocky Hill's field. That was the last time I was coaching at Bloomfield.
Yeah, that's and I'm glad to see you're doing stuff with high school football and the young kids around here, because from talking to my boys who are head coaches in the state, it's the past decade, ever since like 2010, 2012, there's been a pretty big decline, not only in athletes but just in the high school football culture in Connecticut. It's definitely gone downhill. So like you got team, Rock Hill now, they got rid of their freshman program, their JV program. They only have a varsity team now.
Yeah, that's a lot of the regular practice now. Like, and I think some of that is evolution. Some of it is a lot of these kids, and like we was outside all day long. Like that was like it was frowned upon to be inside and like playing video games, and it's 90 degrees outside, like almost to the point where you're kicked out of your house to go outside and play basketball, play with your friends, just do kid stuff. Like I think a lot of these kids miss that aspect of just being a kid outside and having fun, falling down, getting scraped up. Like a lot of kids now are like
growing up too fast.
There's grown up too fast, but on the flip side of that, you do get some athletes that are way far advanced.
Yep.
So
younger age.
So this is a little sneak peek, but I'm nowhere near finished. But 2 years ago, I started writing a book that eventually down the road I want to have published. I just haven't had a ton of time, but it's titled Junior Seau Ruined Football. So I'm going into like how his death and sparked the whole CTE science side of football, and how that's trickled down from his death to youth football, and rule changes and kind of ruining the sport. RIP, but him being on the spotlight essentially ruined football. And now that I'm a parent and I'm friends with other parents who are kids a little bit older, we have a kid that lives 2 houses down who's an absolute stud, 7-8 years old, incredible lacrosse player. Like I throw the ball at him once in a while. I mean, this kid is an absolute stud. And his parents like, yeah, we're never going to let him play football. And you wonder how many parents say that now.
There's a lot
when it comes to football. So obviously the book is my opinion, but I truly believe that Junior Seau ruined the sport of football.
Yeah. So I would say for me, I'm not a parent yet, but when I am a parent, I have already thought that I wouldn't let my son or daughter play full contact football until they got to high school. Because that was the way that I was. Like I didn't start football until I got to high school, and I think that saved me as far as longevity, injury wise. Like I was fresh body. Like when I got to high school, some of my friends have been playing since they was 5 years old. Mm-hmm. When we got to high school, they were burnt out because I've been playing Raiders and Pop Warner. Mm-hmm. And the time I get to high school, it's like, man, I don't even really love this anymore. But I would say a good alternative that now that I'm adult, I play a lot of flag football.
Yeah.
So that I would definitely 100%. Flag football can teach the technical aspect of the football game without the contact, of course, which is where you get your cause of your head injury.
It's like you said, it's in my opinion, it's a double-edged sword, because now you have you have some unbelievable, new rules and regulations that I truly support in terms of, the whole tackle first and head up. And you have, states and, they're increasing the time and lapse between starting football and then introducing tackling.
Yep.
So on the medical side, it's unbelievable. And then on the flip side of it, now you have, your I don't even know how to explain it, but I don't want to say the word soft, but now you have kids growing up in a bubble, right? So now you have kids that don't know what it's like, especially in suburbia, don't know what it's truly like to have any sort of physical or any sort of challenge because, they're protected and wrapped in this, bubble and taught not to hit anyone. No one's going to hit you. And then they get to the real world. And look at all the shit that all these kids 18 to 22 are involved in now. It's a double-edged sword. Like I said, it's great in the medical aspect of it, but now it's raising kids who, if they get a B- on a paper, they go ape shit and start hurting themselves and hurting other people. So I don't know. I talk a lot about it. Hopefully it's done in a year or two, but there's a huge spectrum on the positives and negatives on what it's doing. But
I think if we're working towards solutions, first off, down here football is religion, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't back in Bloomfield. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, Mighty Mites. I went out the year before and I wanted to play. I believe I was 6.
Yeah.
And they said no.
7. So you had to be 7.
Had to be 7. So 7 was my first year of football. So full contact. Down here, you can play full contact football at 5.
Yeah.
So
if
we're working, right?
Yeah. Same thing in
football
Texas.
is religion. There's a ton of pro athletes that come out of this area. But if we're working towards a solution, I think we really do, like Shabazz said, I think we need to look at making a requirement for the flag to a certain age.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we also need to focus and show love on the linemen as well because they still need to develop, right? So
absolutely.
I do not have that answer yet, but I do feel like little kids should not be running around headbutting each other at 5 years old. Like,
absolutely not.
Like if you ever looked at a game, it looks crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that,
complaining of headaches and throwing up and stuff like that, it's just a bad situation. But like I said,
I am a commissioner of the Enfield Flag Football League.
Yeah.
So, yes. I need you guys, whenever you come up, come show some love.
What's the season looking like?
We start this Sunday.
Sunday, so August to what?
We'll probably be August and finish by late October. But that's just the local in my local infield league. I play a lot of flags, so I think I have at least. I think I got another league starting in 2 weeks. But yeah, various formats. Flag is like a.
Slap the tag on it, man.
Yeah, legendary sports flag teams coming soon. Don't worry about it.
Slap it on it.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. But
I think we, until next week. I think we had a good, first web series show.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Let's keep building. Keep doing what we love to do with the sports culture. Had a wonderful time. Let's keep it up, fellas. I think this is the start of something really, really good.
And a little backstory behind it. This is not the start. We've been doing this for actual years. So
yeah, absolutely.
Took some time to put together, but now that we're here, we're gonna be consistent with it. And we're building a team. Shout out to the guys, Marcelo and Charles, also with us, bringing consistent content.
They've been tremendous.
Basis. For the people viewing, tune into the page. I know I'm getting a shirt made for my birthday, so that's coming up. So that's we got some things in the works. So just want to say thank you to everybody viewing. Um, appreciate the love that we received so far, and hopefully you guys continue to follow us on our journey. So thank you, and just remember, LSG Legendary Sports Group. We are sports culture.
Let's go, man.
Now, Brian, I'm looking at the screen. It says pause, stop, and then
Yep.
stop recording. Do I have to save something before I hit these buttons?